Hello and welcome to my Python tutorial. So today we are going to be going over loops, so iteration through things. So to start out with, I've created some data here. Now this is lists and matrices for the first two. Don't worry about that, we're going to be going over that in the later video. But other than that, so we start out with a while loop. What a while loop does is it's kind of the more plain English loop. While something is true, do whatever else. So we're saying, we've gone over len in a previous video, so while the length of this variable HWSTR, which stands for hello world string, so the length of hello world string is greater than 0, we're going to print it out, and then we're going to take away the first letter. So if we run this, you can see it starts hello world, LO world, all the way down to D, and then it's taking away the D, and the length is now 0, so it stops running through. So if we print the loop has stopped, you can see if we restart the variable, you can see it runs through it all the way down. Well, then after it's run through everything and it's false, it jumps to the next line of code that's not within the loop. Next is a for loop. So a for loop runs through a range of data. So we have for x and dat print x. So what it means is for every value within dat, we assign it to x, do whatever we want. We then go to the next value, assign it to x, and do whatever we want. This is for x and dat is for every single value in x, we're going to print it out. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can also do this for strings, because a string is a list of characters. So essentially it's this same data type here, but it's just made string for more convenience. So it runs through every single letter, str. Next, what you can do with for loops is you can have it as a counter. This is what it is in most languages. You assign it a counter variable, and it counts. It can count up, it can count down, whatever you want. So in this case, it's counting up. It's for I and the thing is, since Python for loops iterate through a list of data, we can't do a normal counter. We have to use the range command, which creates essentially a list of numbers, and then it runs our counter variable I will run through that. So for I in range 0 through the length of this matrix data up here, it's going to print out each row of the matrix. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it matches up. We can also do length of the matrix, comma, and keep in mind the last value, it's not inclusive, because if we had said, if it was inclusive, it would have tried to do matrix 5 because the length, or matrix 4, I mean, because the length is 4 because you have 1, 2, 3, 4 up at the top, so the length is 4. Well, indices start at 0. So if we tried to do that, it would go index 0, 1, 2, 3, and it would try index 4, which would throw an error because there is no index 4. So it's not inclusive. So we want this to go to the number right before -1. We're going to have it step. This third argument is a step. You can, if you leave it out, it assumes 1, -1. So now it's going to start at the length of the matrix, which actually we need it to start length of the matrix -1, because like I said, that would be 4, which would throw an error. And then it's going to go down to 0 because it's right before -1, and it's going to be going down each time. So that gives us the same thing, but in reverse. You can also do, let's see, if we do 0, comma length of the matrix, step 2, you can see it goes 0 and then 2. 0 up here, and then to index 2. So then what you can also do is the final thing is you can nest loops. So you can put loops within loops. So in this case, we want to print out every single value of this matrix variable individually. It is a two-dimensional array. So if you look at this, we're printing out the first index of matrix in this cell right here, cell 11, and so it gives us a list. So essentially a two-dimensional matrix or array, which I'm going to go into in another video, is a list within a list. So this print matrix I grabs that second list and prints out that whole thing. So we're going to go through I through the length of the matrix, And we're going to go through j through the length of the first list in the matrix, because in this case, that's the length of all of them. We're then going to print the matrix at spot ij. So if I do 0, 2, it's this number 3 because that is in list 0, spot 2 within the list. So let's print out each number individually. So we run this, you see you get 1 through 20. So that's pretty much lists. Next video, we will be going over functions. So that'll be interesting.